Alito, Chief. Hold on, make sure I can hear her. Can you hear me, Chief? She called in. I got on the line. I'm not getting anything. Let me see. Chief, if you can hear me, just hang up and call right back if you can, see if we can fix our issue.
Okay.
Oh, no, I hear you now. Hey. Look, she hung right up.
Huh? Yeah, but one left.
One way.
See where?
Peace and power. All Macadon, Liz Robinson, Chief Hummingbird, Latasha Green. I think that's Butte Entertainment. Tony, Nicole. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Chief, Alito, can you hear me?
Hello?
I hear you now.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm
You doing
good.
good?
Is it coming through? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you real good. I'm gonna turn up. Matter of fact, let me turn up my mic to make sure that I can hear you real good. All right, but yeah, I hear everything real good.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So everything's going well with you. How was your day?
It was a Monday. Monday madness.
Monday Madness. I know how that is. I know how that
Yeah,
is.
because with homeschooling, trying to hold down the home front.
I know how that is. I know
Yeah.
how that is. So everyone here is today. They here to check out unlocking the mother tongue within. Do you have you ready? You ready to tackle it real quick?
Sure. Just tell me how much of it you want me to read, or you just want me to kind of flow in the spirit with it. It's up to you. I think it's, thank you for having me to even do this, and I'm hoping that it will, inspire our people, because words right now are pretty important for what we speak into life, especially in light of everything going on, and it's constantly, got us in the throes of fear. So I think it's a good time to speak life unto ourselves and to our people.
Awesome. Let's get your kinfolks in here, Tasha She, before y'all get in.
Okay. Hey, Tasha.
I'm getting her in right now. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and kind of explain it before we get into the book, I'm sending her the link and stuff, so everybody can kind of get an understanding of what's going on.
Okay. Did you want me to read through the whole book, or kind of like just kind of flow?
Yeah, I was going to let you flow through it. I was going to show them the book while you was talking about it, like the introduction, and then you can just do your thing. I'm going to keep up with you.
Okay, because you don't want to read it word for word, right?
No, you don't have to.
Okay, good. Okay, because it's fluid, and I really do have to update it because this copyright is from 2018, and I have like several books of writings that I need to include into the original document. But I definitely would I could touch on some of the fresher revelations of the language as well.
Okay, I'm going to show everyone the book. Well, go ahead. I'm showing everyone the book now.
Okay, yeah, it's PDF. It's Unlocking the Mother Tongue Within. And basically, it's really just kind of giving you a personal journey that I've kind of been on as I was reconnecting with our indigenousness, our Indianness. And this language just started to come forth, out of my spirit, out of my soul, at different times of activities and things that were, or events or stress. And, I would be in my meditations, and all of a sudden I'm speaking these words, and I'm like, okay, wow. And, getting the meanings of what they mean, and, just coming from a deep place. So, the the more I started to experience it, the meanings will become more clear. And that's when, to me, it seemed like it was revealed that this is an ancient language, and it's our ancient, it's a root, the ancient roots, the foundation of our original tongues, and, that makes up the basis of our dialects that we speak as American Indians. And why I think that's important is it's awesome for our people to awaken in their tribal dialects and languages, but how will we communicate with each other if we're all speaking in a different dialect? So I think that this, the revelations that I've gotten, inspirations for this, is that with knowing, tapping back into the mother tongue as it was inspired in my spirit to call it, it kind of can help unlock our languages, period, which means in other words, it's common ground. It's like right now, we all speak with each other in English because that's our common ground as American Indians, right? And even though there are different bands and clans, tribes that have their own dialects and have their own language, and how they may communicate, but at the end of the day, when we're all coming together on a podcast, or if we're on social media, or if we're coming together in powwows, we're speaking a common tongue, or we're still going to speak in a common language, because that's how we're able to communicate how we feel and around each other. So we need a common ground. So I kind of look at the mother tongue as a common ground. And the journey kind of began some years ago when we have relocated to the South. And like I said, it just started to come out in different times of my life where either I'm just in meditation, or it could be out of stress. I've had phrases come up out of stress or out of events, different events that have taken place in my life. And that's kind of like the beginning of how I was being taught, I believe, by the Mother Spirit, is just rekindling, I think, what we already know. So it's not really teaching a different language or teaching you a language, to those who are listening. It's already what you have. It's already in you. I believe it's already part of our DNA and already part of our genetic code as the original people in this place. And I do believe it's universal, because I do believe that our language base, and why English probably is the language around the world, because it has a lot to do with it being a spin and a type of angle on our tongue. Because, as we keep walking in our truth, we're learning more and more about our ancientness, because we're coming from a dry place, right? As people who are called everything other than what we are. In other words, like we're branches without a tree, without roots, under colonialism and under hostile occupation, which we're still under in our own land. So it's like we've been taught all the time that we're just these branches hanging out here, these leaves, but we don't really have a tree. We don't have any roots. So as we're becoming into ourselves again and becoming awake, and we are alive, and our spirits are being rejuvenated again in the Mother Spirit, now we're reconnecting, all of our parts, our mind, our body, our spirit, our soul, our sinews, and our physical bodies to our land, wherever our feet touches the soil. And that's where our truth becomes a reality for us, because we have a tree now, and we have roots, and our roots are ancient. We are very ancient people, and we have very ancient knowledge. And, one way or the other, through either religions or through politics and through history, we've been told that everything we know comes from somewhere else, right? Everything we do is just because we're from somewhere else, or it's from out there somewhere. When it's not, it's with us. And something that's profound that me and another sister were talking about, and she said, the culture flows where the blood flows. we've never stopped being Indians. We may have forgotten who we were, but we really never stopped being Indians in the things that we do, because we're the most imitated people in the world. So that should kind of give everybody a moment in a minute. Because what slave population that you know are these foreign slaves from somewhere else that's dumped somewhere else other than their homeland, but you become the most imitated and copied people in the world? I don't know anybody like that. But I do know that the culture of the so-called Black, Negro, colored, Afro, African American, a.k.a. the Aborigines of America, we are copied. Our soul imprint is all over the world. So that should tell us something, as well as how connected we are and how ancient we are as a people. Because even in our cut off state, where we're as a whole, and I'm not saying individual people or clans or bands who know who you are, you've been conducting your lives within your indigenousness. I'm talking about the whole of us. Even though the whole of us has been cut off from our parts, it's funny that the world still manages to always watch us. The way we speak, our vernacular, the way we dress, the way we sing, the way we cut our hair, or the way we do our hair. I mean, I don't know anybody that does hair the way we do it. I mean, we flip all kinds of styles. Our swag is infinite, because we are creators and we're constantly creating new flow. So I believe that the mother tongue within is a gift that is within us, that we already know it, and it's basically the root of us. It's connecting us again to our roots. So I didn't know if anybody had some questions out there or. Yeah.
When you break it down, they're gonna start understanding what you're saying on that it's already within us. But go ahead. I'm gonna put it on the book so they can. So here we go. All right. Everybody can see the book. I think they can. Yeah, everyone can see it.
Okay, so I kind of gave an introduction and kind of went through page 1 and 2. So like I said, I do have to update it, and because I want to give you guys some of the newer revelations, because this is our language is living, and wisdom is living, and it's infinite. So I'm not the type to say, I got it all, I know it all, this is it. No. I'm still learning, I'm still getting revelations on it, I'm still having aha moments. So that's why I said I'm helping you to unlock it within yourself and to walk with you, not being like in front of you like a teacher standing at a board, because we don't really, that's why English has been such a hard language for our children, especially our boys, especially our men, our young men, because their rejection of it is actually good. It's natural. And even though I know we still have to, in a sense, until we're fully immersed in it, until we're fully within our high state of being, I know we're still using the slanted version of our own language, but I'm just saying from my experience as an educator, our children reject English, especially our young warriors, our young men, and that's actually a good thing. My grandson is like that, Littlefoot Daywolf, and he don't like the alphabet. He doesn't like it. I mean, he's articulate as a little 4-year-old. He can conversate with the best of them, and he has very high level thinking skills. He's a critical thinker, but he does not like the alphabet. He does not like trying to put words and sounds together in that old school kind of way. So we've got to come up with a different way with these new star seeds coming through, because they're vibrating on higher vibrations. They're coming through like 2 or 3-year-olds already having consciousness of thought and tuning into their own indigenousness, because he'll tell you, I'm Littlefoot Daywolf, and he kind of knows why. He started off as Littlefoot in a naming ceremony, but now he's evolved into Daywolf, and it's his agility and the way this kid can clear a field. it's amazing, and he has a real high sense of animal spirits and the nature spirits already. I mean, nature still is like they were born in the forest, in the woods, but they weren't. So it's like, our new star seeds are coming in, vibrating on pretty high frequency. So we got to be able to work with them, because we've already been kind of, I guess you could say, initiated in this falsehood. But as we're coming alive, we've got to make room to be flexible in how we work with our children. So we can take this shutdown as, in a positive way, that now we can really teach our children the way they need to be taught, or educate them, nurture them. Because I don't like to say teaching, but it's more like you're nurturing and watering the seeds that they have within. So that's how I like to look at how we can approach this, is that I'm just helping to water what you already have inside of you. I'm not teaching it to you. I'm not, telling you this is the rule, because it's like the Matrix. There is no spoon and there is no rule, because we are infinite. So getting attuned, that's on page 3. Basically, that's just trying to give some guidance and how you can relax yourself so that you can tap and tune in to this frequency, and to understand or understand. I don't like to say understand, because we'll go through that when we get to like the next section, when you start to break down those slanted words and the double talk. They're like double-edged swords. When you say I'm understanding something, I'm standing under. So I usually like to say understand, like I'm standing within to comprehend what you're saying. So think of it as not even so much of a language, but it's more so as a living communication. It's everything. It's how we can connect with the wind spirit, with animal spirit, the plant spirit, because all that is alive communicates. Trees, ants, rocks, birds, wolves, all animal spirits, all plant spirits, wind spirit, they all communicate, and we're all in one with them. So the unlocking the mother tongue is a beautiful experience, in the sense that it's not so much trying to teach you a list of words, because it's not really about the words, it's the conceptualization. It's the thought that's coming out of the immaterial into the material world, in a sense. And when we are going back into the womb of her, because that's where we all learn language. We all learn the frequency of sound and language, what our family sounds like. We can determine stress in the womb of our mothers, because we can quote unquote hear that as babies when we're in the womb. We learn our first language from in the womb, from your mother. So how do we to be able to imitate that, or at least to experience that? We got to go back into the womb of the mother. So being connected to nature is very important for us to get out to the air, get lots of oxygen, and to realize we're not in nature to dominate it, to take over it, to use and abuse, and to have as we at our will. The whole thing of what makes us magical people as American Indians is that we're one with her, with our great-grandmothers and our great-grandfather spirits, and we're one with the trees. We're one. These are our brothers and sisters. We're all extension of the reflection of life, of the universe. So this journey kind of takes us into a respect for all that is alive around us, and how we view animals, how we view the water, how we view trees and plants. And, under colonization, there's no respect for that. It's like, that's why they can go easily into 1,000 acres of land, just plow everything, because they had to put up a building. And sometimes, I'm telling you, we can be riding on the highway, and I will see that, and it hurts my feelings. My husband's like that too. Like, we see whole fields of trees have just been massacred. It really hurts my feelings. Like, we'll be like, well, that's messed up. Sometimes we'll be angry. Sometimes we tear up, because that's how I know we're becoming alive again, because you start to feel the other life spirits around you, and that really hurts to see a whole field of vegetation and that whole ecosystem just wiped out because we got to put up a warehouse. So, because true living would mean we would be in sync with nature, where we're doing the least amount of harm to that which is alive. And that's why we've been so out of balance with nature, and while, we become afraid of animals, we become afraid of it, or either we want to take over it and we think we own it. But that's the beauty of the American Indian, is that, or any true indigenous Aboriginal people, is that we're one with. So anyway, so going on this journey is an awakening. And I'm on page 3 still. Awakening the great mother from within. So it's kind of like we have to go inside of ourselves and breathe in and exhale to the tune of Om. If you look at the word womb and the word home, what 2 letters does everybody see or in between those words? So they have the same 2 letters. Anybody can answer? I don't know. I can't see anything. I'm only on the phone.
You said no. I'm looking at the chat, but you said womb, and what's the 2 letters?
What's the 2 letters in the center of womb and home?
Guess it would be
Mm-hmm.
Om.
Both. Home is Om. Womb, Om. It's the Om. It's the infinite. It's the womb. It's the belly. It's going Om. So that's why meditation is important, because it kind of helps us to center ourselves. When they tell you to, like, for example, when I started to kind of learn how to meditate, and they say you're a chi, but when I looked at, because I was studying Reiki, which is really our art form of laying of hands and moving energy, it was revealed to me that it's not chi, it's she. It's she.
Right.
She.
Right.
Your she is the balance of reflection within, right? Your Buddha, your Bhuta, boo, boo, boo. The 3 basic inflections that we have, intonations, and I'm kind of skipping ahead, but if I explain it here, then you kind of can go with the flow as we're going. Ah, E, U. Those are 3 basic foundational frequencies of life. And it basically is Ah, E, U. It's the reflection of life coming through. Ah is the breath. Ah, E is the reflection of life, like me, he, she, we, thee. It's already written, it's right there. All of those mean reflection of, right? And U is a coming through. So you take those, like if you say the word I am, slow it down. What 2 sounds do you hear when you say I am? Because that's a universal declaration. When they say I am that I am, there's a reason for that. Slow down I, and what do you really hear? I, E. That's a personal affirmation. I'm a reflection of breath. That's what you're really, that's the sound that you're really saying. It's like when you say wow. Now in school they teach you wow is a so-called 1-syllable word. This is how they start tricking you. But when you say wow, if everyone were to say the word wow right now, how many movements is your mouth making? Anybody write that in? Wow. Wow. You're saying 2. Wow. So the way they have taught us in school, it's butt backwards. So that's the whole point of, us retuning ourselves and getting into meditation, getting out in nature, and all those things is to help us to relieve ourselves of all the corruptions of how we experience communication with one another and with all that is alive around us. So I'm flipping over to page 4, and that's basically what I'm saying, escaping into the wilderness of the people was really like my ancestral, I guess, my path as returning to the South, or actually coming to live in the South, because I've never lived in the South. This is the first time that I've ever personally lived in the South. So when we were prompted by Spirit to go and move about, 13, 14 years ago to return here, I never really imagined at that time how rich our lives will become in our own unique spirituality and our culture. So even though, we go through the grind and we go through hardship, but we're rich. Because, being able to walk in this truth and knowledge, it really is a beautiful experience, even in the midst of all this darkness and hysteria and craziness that's going on. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful culture. It's just a beautiful way of life, and that's probably why we're so sought after in the world, you know. So, and part of that, there's a responsibility that we have with each other and with the world, because we're copied. And it's almost like, okay, if you want your children to behave or to be a certain way, it's not really what we tell them all the time, it's what we show them. So this rebirth of us as American Indians, as the true people of this land, is not just the learning of our own personal backgrounds, but it's who we are to the world and to the planet and what we mean, and why our awakening is setting off ripples around the world, whether they put it on television or not. Us awakening and pushing, like we're pushing, you know, like our hands were in the womb, we're pushing out. You know, mom is going through Lamaze, even a woman when she's giving birth, she taps into those, they call them the guttural sounds, but I call them the life sounds, all natural frequencies that's dealing with the life, the principles of life. So anyway, so just coming back to escaping into the wilderness of the people marked my return to ancestral roots in the South. And this is where the work really began, because I did grow up in Christianity, and I crossed over into the Hebrew Israelite way of life. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not one of those people that put people down, because your path is your path. Whatever path that we were born into or that we were set on, it is your path. And you take those lessons that you've learned and the scars that you've earned, and you keep it pushing, you keep it moving. That's the whole point of being an evolved being, where we don't get stuck. It's okay if you were a Christian. Okay, that's fine. If you were a Hebrew Israelite, if you were Muslim, if you were Buddhist, all those paths okay, because all of them have some truth in them. Because they pick cherries, but they've taken the truth of us, and we're kind of broken up all over the world, right? And they take bits and pieces of our truth and wisdom, and they just fashion them unto themselves, so that, you know, our truth takes on different forms around the world and with different people and different systems that have fashioned them after their likeness. But now, as we return, understand all of that shatters now. All of those walls and that veil that has been put over everybody's eyes, that's why our awakening is profound. It's I don't even know, I can't even describe it, because things that people were made to believe, and not just us, I'm talking about people of all different walks of life, what people were made to believe through religion, even how you relate to women, how you treat family and children, and how you treat the earth, all of that, it's a sham, because, you know, foreign entities have taken what has been true and fashioned it after themselves, and in the meantime have kept us underfoot. And it's like anything, if you cut off your root, eventually you're going to wither away. And that's what's happening now with this worldwide shutdown. You know, these systems, it's falling. They're showing us one thing, but in reality, us coming out as who we are and pushing against, you know, the womb and where we're ready to be born again, it is causing ripple effects around the world. So never take who you are lightly, because it's very deep and profound, our effect that we have around the world. Just think about how people copy us anyway, the way we dance and sing, and we use profanity. You know, they love to, you know, to highlight the things that they think would make us negative. But see, are they ready for us as judges and as bearers of truth, swords of wisdom? Oh, I don't know. That's a scary thing. When we're in our righteousness and in our right minds and in our right state of being, that means that's a low tolerance. That's low tolerance or no tolerance for hate, spite, human trafficking, capitalism, all that stuff. We don't need that. In a higher way of living, none of those isms can exist in the realm of where we truly exist in our higher self. You know, classism, racism, sexism, all those isms, they don't exist in a higher realm. Where they're trying to pump us up with 5G so they can, you know, short out our circuit. But the spirit world is ushering in 5V, where we're moving into the humanity age. That's why it's really important what we speak, what we see, what we do, and how we, vibrate in this time, because it's the gray areas are being pushed away. It's either this or it's that. And that can be really scary if you don't have direction, or have a center. And we have a soul center. So that's why we're tuning into it again, because we never really lost it. We just had to be shocked into, awakening again. So another thing I want that I made clear on page 4, the mother tongue is not about feminism. So just because I'm using the word mother tongue, but we all got mamas. Everybody has a navel, male or female. We all have one. Put your finger down in your belly button. We're all linked to a womb. So this is not about, women over men. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, I have a husband, I have sons, I have grandsons, and I respect and honor our male principles and realize we're one. So it's nothing about that. When we're in our balanced state, we don't look at each other as, there's no such thing as feminism or chauvinism. It doesn't really exist because it's not necessary. We understand that we're principles, we're twin flames of each other to become one. So, and we'll talk about that too when we talk about the binary code of the universe. So on page 5, I just kind of go through, looking at this awakening as a balance, right? And embracing our duality. 1 and 1 is 2, but 2 is it's a whole, right? So us coming together is to make us whole again, so we can take the fragments and the parts of us that have been spread out everywhere. And we're slowly getting there. Some of us are kicking and screaming, some of us are fighting it tooth and nail, but eventually that energy will fall off of us as once we focus in on the higher consciousness that we are headed toward, and all that debris of argument, of coming against each other, backstabbing, because we're kind of working in reverse, because the issue that we have as a people is not just from people on the outside of us. It started with us within. It starts with us, and it started with us. We're somewhere there was a breakdown in our respect for the mother, our respect for duality, our respect for oneness. We lost that. Something happened. And the things that we're kind of seeing that's going on with each other now, it went on with each other then. We're just experiencing it. But the key to it is to learn from it now, so that, we don't have to repeat, this, we don't have to repeat this transition again. We can get it moving. Because I've served 3 nights. I'm not trying to serve in this realm again. I want up off this 3D plane. Let's get it popping, because they can keep that. It's too much work, too much hard work. So anyway, it's illogical really for us to have, feelings one way or the other, where you're feeling this way about men or you're feeling this way about women. That's not logical, because we're one. So that's where we're wishy-washy. Wishy-washy. That's our phrase. That's an indigenous phrase, because it's like saying we're off balance now. Wishy-washy. Some people, when they say, "Are you wishy-washy?" or "You're straddling the fence," but it's even deeper than that. You wishy-washy, wishy-washy. Why means great, and then you say wishy. So it's being at either spectrum, and the key part is to become in tune with our she. You notice that when you want a child or somebody's making noise, you notice that we say shh. Because when we say she, we want us to tune in, just get balanced, get focused. Too much noise, too much energy going on. Let's get back to balance. She. You're she. You're the balance. You're in balance with the spark of life. So on page 7, any questions? I don't want to keep running my mouth.
I haven't seen any. A lot of people are just going along. They're listening. I'm getting a lot of straight up and down, some big scoop. Even Bernie said, "Amen." People are asking for the book. We're trying to get that link to everyone so they can If you having a hard time, I put the link of the book in the chat. But if you're having a hard time getting it, just email nograndmakillers@gmail and say, hey, I'd like to get that book, and I'll shoot that to your email so you'll be able to download it.
Okay, so no, any questions at this point?
I don't see any. But when they ask, I'll let you know.
Okay. I just want to, I want to, feel you guys' energy because I'm in a room and I'm just looking around. I'm talking into a phone. I can't really see anything.
I got you.
Okay, I just want to make sure I don't want to put nobody to sleep now because I can talk.
You breaking it down. No, you're doing a real good job. But you said page 7, correct?
Okay, yes, Ani Shikawahe. I love saying that phrase. Ani Shikawahe. It's so pretty. It's just so beautiful. And when I was, going to Google, looking up some
Hold
pictures.
on. What you say? I think Tasha got a question.
Okay.
Hey, Tasha.
Yeah.
Baby
cousin. Yeah, I had a question. I was wondering what specific indigenous languages kind of correlate with what you're talking about.
Did you hear what she said?
Oh, no, I didn't hear anything. Mm-mm.
Let me see. Oh, she said, what indigenous languages? I forgot that she's on the phone. She's not linked up like us. But she said, what indigenous languages? Say that again, Tasha, so I can say it correctly.
What indigenous languages correlate with the tones that she's speaking? I know she speaks Cherokee. So does Cherokee have similar words that match?
What indigenous languages correlate with what you're using, like Cherokee or?
I think Powhatan is probably the closest.
Would be what? Say that again, Chief.
Cherokee. I use the mother inflection, the more ancient inflection. I think it's close to that, but I've been told it's closest to that than maybe the closest to that. But I personally haven't learned, I don't know any Indian language, I just didn't want to learn it that way. I didn't want to learn things from a list and from a website or a book. I've dabbled around and looked at certain things, but when it comes to this is just something I kind of keep it as sacred and I just let it flow. So, and I just get the revelations as it goes along and what the meanings are, and then I'm able to pick up on what what they mean.
So basically, natural tones.
Natural tones. It's like spelling phonetically. So really, when children are spelling, I don't even like to say the word spelling because you already good out. But when children are putting sound frequency together in school, they're actually, writing it phonetically, which is actually the right way. RIGHT. It's the right way to do it. But we teach them to put the angle on it. So it's like we teach them to curse. We're just taught to curse ourselves with our own language. So it's pretty amazing. But I've seen, now I'm glad you asked that question because it's really interesting. Because I've seen videos where on different bands or clans or tribes, there was I'm hoping I can remember it, but I think it was an elder speaking from the Sioux or some band or clan or tribe out west or the Midwest, and they were reading some of the words from some pictures or some ancient pictures or something that they had that was part of it. I was able to decipher that using the mother tongue. Just knowing the E and ooh, I was able to kind of break through. Even we have one of our members lives all the way in Hawaii, and some of their language, when you listen to it and you look at it, you can hear and feel the mother tongue in. You can hear and feel the when they say aloha, aloha. Aloha. Ha is always a celebration. So it's like their aloha is like halito, or say you're saying I celebrate when we greet each other, it's not about just a greeting. It really means I see you. I'm celebrating life in you. So when we greet each other, you're busting out the seams with life. So aloha, you hear the the lo, o, which is like illuminated thought, and you have aloha, and it's like you're just illuminated to see this person. Aloha, or halito, or oseo, or even we say haya. It has profound depth. It's conceptualized. It's not like words like we're taught in school. Each word has a meaning, but it's our inflections that have meaning. Has a meaning all by itself. Ooh has a meaning all by itself. He has a meaning all by itself. So I have seen Indian words in different languages, with different bands of clans, and I have been able to, if I just kind of look at it sideways, like, oh, okay. And if I can pick up the I, E, and the U in it, there's times I can actually translate what it says. I've had those experiences. Can I do all of it? No, I don't have all of it yet. I'm still learning it. So, did that answer your question, Tasha?
Tasha? I don't know if she stepped away or her mic is off. But yeah, it answered it though. It sure answered it for me.
Okay. Okay. So on page 7, Anisha Kale, her truth and greatness is alive in us. Anisha Kawahe. We always know is the flow. That's the frequency of the flow of our language. Ni, like we say, Ninawa. Ni is like acknowledgement. Like you say the Ani Sazi, the Ani Pusa, the Ani Yalia. Ani means you're acknowledging life and whatever in the life and the people. Shakash. That she again. Ka means spirit of truth. Wa is the great expanse. Wahe. Hey. We say a lot of words and inflections that are very natural to us, and those are our words and those are our inflections. Hey, I'm Shakawa. Hey. So, in my meditations, that's when it seems to flow. So it's like, my thoughts, my emotions, my needs and desires kind of ignite into this language, and sometimes it kind of bubbles up out of a place that I didn't even know existed, but I do treasure it and feel that it is sacred. So it's not a language that I feel like we just, speak gibberish all the time. Like we just like kind of, because when you speak it, you're saying so much with just a little bit of phrasing. So much is said when you say Ani Shakale. You can just roll on that all day long, and it can just, the conceptualization of that is so profound when you're saying her greatness, her truth is alive in us. So, and that's how I became to recognize it as the mother tongue. That it's already in us. We just need to unlock it. And I've had that experience, like speaking it and working with people who want to practice in it, or and I've had people just start talking to me in it, and I'm like, wow. So I just think it's a matter of just unlocking what I think is already in there inside of us. Aya, the breath of life, consciousness of life. And what's interesting is that I can see how religions have taken our concepts of spirit and fluidity of life and turn them into a deity. Like we hear people, okay, Yahweh or Ayah, and they'll say that's that person, or Allah is that God. But when you break it, when you know it in the mother tongue, you can understand what is Ayah representing, what is Allah representing, what is Yahuwah representing. When you know what those inflections are, you're not worshiping a deity. So that's bringing the concept of our language low when you're trying to when you're trying to personify it with a being or with a deity, but it's really speaking of a live and living consciousness, because Aya is a consciousness. You're talking about the collective. We are all Aya. We are the collective consciousness of life that comes together. So it's not a deity or a god or a being. It is a collective consciousness. So when you kind of learn it that way, to me it makes more sense. And it kind of gets you out of worshiping something that you've kind of brought into your own personification, but now you're releasing that and letting it go back into its rightful place, where that brings us back into that collectiveness of life. So I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but as we go on, I'll keep working to explain that or let that.
That was, I mean, you breaking it down, and I mean, it should be. If they have any questions, they'll ask, because right now they're eating it up. I heard someone said his mother's nickname for him was Dad, and he said, "Is that Indian?" And then he said another one, what is Mucca or Mucca? They called him Mucca or something like that. I guess it was.
Mucca.
Yeah, Mookah. Like with the Mucca.
Mook. Okay, well, Ka is like the spirit of truth. It's like truth. It's like the breath. True. It is the. Okay, let me see how I can explain it this way. You have you have Ka, you have Wa, you have Ma, and all of those are attributes of life. Okay. For Ka is the attribute of the truth, of what truth is bearing on life, the bearer of truth. Ma is a universal word for mother. That's everywhere. Everywhere in the world, Ma means the same thing. So you can unlock that one easy. Ma, it means the giver of life, the primordial waters, the one who brings into breath, right, or pushes into breath, because the root of that is Ma. Ma brings us into the breath. So Ka is coming into the truth, coming into the spirit of truth. Mu, I'm not sure about the mu, but the u means something coming through. So mu is something coming through. Now I know that mu, the sound is sometimes related to teacher or nurturer or something like that. So it could be the teacher, the teacher or nurturer coming through with truth. It could be that. But I know what ka means, and u means something always coming through. So I'm still learning on, all of different things, but like mu, like moshi, I know like moshi or mushu. When you're saying that, you're talking about, I think, a teacher, someone who's bringing, knowledge in. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Mucca. Oh, resonate on that. That's a nice resonation. Mucca. So, and that's good too. If you go back into your memories and pick up on those sounds and those words from Aki. Like I know back in the day I've heard brothers say, "What's up, Aki? What's up, what's up, Aki? Aki. Ki is beloved, like your brother, your kindred. Aki, what's up?" That's what you're saying. And it's not the same what's up to the brother, but you're saying, you're my kindred. You're my kindred. We're kindred. We're kin. So when we speak, we do speak. Like when they say words don't hurt you, that's a lie. That is a lie. That's not true. Words can't hurt you because frequency means everything. That's why they don't want us to speak in our tongue. If words couldn't hurt you, if words didn't mean anything, then we would just be able to still be, speaking in our natural intonations, and these folks wouldn't have put tricks and grammarlies and spells and all the stuff that they do, spellings and grammars and language arts and all that mess that they've done to our, making a hodgepodge of mess on our original dialect and our tongue, because it is power. It is power. That is great in our words. It is. So it's important for us in this time of our elevation is that we start to speak more words of life. We need to speak into life. Speak words into life. Even if you got to be upset with someone, I'm not saying, okay, walk around, We don't have to walk around fake, like, you know, like we have to put on a fake smile. I'm just saying that we can just be a little more tempered. We can take our time. Let's, you know, think critically as when we're speaking, because words are life. And this is a good time for us to practice speaking words of life so that we don't get locked down into this other mess that's going on. We want to keep moving toward the light. You know, your light brain. Your heart is the bridge to your light brain. That's why we had to, what ushers in the Mother Spirit or revive the Mother Spirit, it's love. It's our heart. The heart is noon. And they hid the heart in the word earth. Take, you know, everything with them is upside down, inside out, backwards. Take the word earth, take the H off the back of earth and put it to the front. We're living in the realm of the heart. We are the children of the earth. We are the children of the heart. Love, compassion, that's the bridge. And they hid the name of the heart in the nun. Everything was in the backwards and upside down, but it's noon, because noon, ooh, is always something coming through. It's like the moon, like they kept part of that in the moon, but when you say another word for the moon is the loon, they say lunar eclipse, the loon. It's not really sun, it's sun. So we have sun, moon or luna, and we have noon, the heart, the bridge. And the heart is the bridge to your higher self. When we start feeling again and we want more humanity and we want more kindness and we see that the isms don't make sense, that's what's breaking this stuff wide open. It's the fact that, you know, we're resonating again in the heart frequency, in the noon. So.
Okay, Chief.
Yes.
Someone told me to ask you, or they asked me to ask you, is the so-called Hebrew language used today a ripoff of our language?
It could be. I'm not sure because I've never learned Hebrew. Like, even as a Hebrew, when I was practicing as a Hebrew Israelite, you know how you get words here and there. Now, I've seen something similar. Let me see. There was a group I remember that all their words were like, da, ba, ba, da, da, da. I thought it was silly at the time, which is, I need to, you know, repent for that. But I do remember a group having some type of similar inflection to what I feel, you know, that's revealed to me. But as far as the Hebrew language itself, I'm not really sure, because I've never really learned anything in Hebrew formally. You know, so.
Tasha said that's Arabic.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I don't really know. I've heard some people ask me that question too, but I'm only going to give it to you how I feel the Spirit gave it to me. It comes out to me as a mother tongue, and I leave it at that. What other people want to interpret, that's going to be on you and your path. I'll let folks do that, but I keep it real simple. I'm a simple woman, plain Jane. I don't like to veer too much here and there, and I'm just going to get it straight. The way it was revealed to me is as a mother tongue, and the more I start to speak it, I can start to pick up on things, and you can, you know, like I said, I've been able to kind of crack some of the other indigenous languages by knowing the I, E, and U frequency, like, you know, aloha, like the young gentleman who lives in Hawaii said, you know, he said, oh, I get it, because a lot of the words that when we say, you know, it uses the I frequency. You can hear it, you can feel it. So sometimes you can go back and forth. So that's how I'm looking at it. So I hope that answers the question. I think you'll probably find it. I could be making a stretch of it, but I think in all languages around the world, you'll find this somewhere in the root, in the base of it. I think you'll find it. You'll find her. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you straight up, I'm not a linguist. Okay. I know English. I have sang when I used to sing opera in college. I have sung in French. I've sung in Italian. I've sung in German. But the only language I know really is just English. But this is something that's deep, and I know this. For some reason, I know this. I don't know why I know it, but I'm holding on to it, and I give thanks to the ancestors for allowing me to be able to speak it and to share it. So I value, just having this knowledge, and I'm finding it pretty interesting that being able to kind of look at some of the other indigenous languages out there, and I can sometimes, interpret, or at least not interpret, but I can at least have some understanding of some foundational understanding of what they're talking about. And I think that's a really cool thing to be able to do, because we have our own. That's another thing they like to say, you got to have culture and be your culture, your language. We are our own culture. We speak it anyway, because they used to call it ebonics, like our slang swivel, the way we bend words back anyway, because we're creative people. So a lot of times when we're saying, hey, what's up, we're speaking in our tongue. So I just think it's something that we have within ourselves. Does that answer?
Chief, they want to know how can they donate to you? That's you ain't used to that question, are you?
No, I don't.
It's some people that would like to donate.
This is not something I can. You don't sell this. I'm not letting the answers. I'm not going to.
No, they're not trying to buy anything. They just want to donate.
They get me in trouble with the answers. They ain't gonna have no answers with my ass over here trying to. No, let me think on that. I'm not good at that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not good at receiving or taking. I'm not good at that. I'll think about it. I don't know.
Okay. So what I'll do is we'll get with you, and I'll get with your.
I'm sorry.
I'll get with your with Kat and them, and we'll set up your something because you do everything for free. You go to court for people, you fight for people's children, you fight child services. And I mean, you do this on a regular basis, and then you also have time to come on No Grandma Killers and spend some time with us. And people would like to donate and be able to support. So we need to get you some type of donation button, because I've been watching you do this for years, and I think it would be nice to be able, if someone wanted to donate to you, it would be awesome.
I appreciate it, but I'm not good at that. It kind of makes me like, I'm so glad I can't see everybody's face. Oh my God, like it's so embarrassing. But I appreciate that. But Anita, giving thanks. I give thanks to the family for offering that, Anita. And I learned that word. That came up pushing my grandson in a stroller. We would just walk going down the street, and this rock, just like, I guess it was like pick me up. So sometimes rocks will speak to you. And anybody had that experience? Rocks speak to you. I don't know. I've heard them say. It's almost like I could feel in my spirit, like they say pick you up. So we picked him up. We picked the rock up. It was a pretty interesting rock on that street. And I just heard, Anita. I just whispered, Anita. Slow it down. Anita. I've heard that before. That's my mother's name. And her mother was Selma. Like, if you go look at your names, that's another way. You're Nami. So they say name, aims. I can't stand the way the English is like to distort our words, but it's your Nami. Na is risen. Risen action, risen self, risen. It means when you're moved to action. Na. Nina, na me. Na me. Me. What does me mean? Me is a reflection of life, right? Me. So what is your na me? And if you go back
Tasha, she said those are Powhatan words.
Say it again.
She said those words are Powhatan. They speak those words in the Powhatan language as well.
Awesome. See, that's what I'm saying. You're going to find it. I think you'll find, I'll speak a whole bunch of it to you. You'll just find it, I think, in the roots of our language-based period. I believe in that. I believe you can. I believe you can if we just.
So that's basically how, like they say, they was able to go communicate with different tribes, because the basic, like it's almost like when you go to New Orleans and then be like, hey baby, you know what I'm saying? Not, or what they say, you heard me? And then you come down south and it's you come to Atlanta, it's what it is. You go to New York, it's what up, son, or however they talk up there, but
Yeah.
everyone speak the same language, but it has a different, almost, I don't know, dialect or a different accent to it, but it's still the same
It's the same
mother tongue.
frequency.
That's
It's the
right.
same frequency. So when you say nah me, what's your nah me? You're saying what's your name, but it's not. See, when you say what's your name, what's your name? Oh, my name is Luann. But when you say what's your nah me, you're not just saying words. Like you're not just giving a description of some words. Like I'm Luann. I'm Shaquita. I'm Tyrone. I'm Tyler. I'm Mike. I'm James. I'm whatever. When you say you're nah me, you're really, that's going deeper. You're saying, who is this risen reflection? That's why names are important. It's not just about making the name look good, sound good, but it goes back to our language is conceptual. So that's why we have naming ceremonies, because we look at the attributes and we let, your imprint, your soul imprint evolve, and it blossoms, your Buddha, your Bhuta, it comes out, the bud of light comes out of you. However it flourishes all around you, that's how you get your Na-Mi, because your Na-Mi is your risen self. So names are important in how we express ourselves, our Na-Mi. And Na means risen. Like your Nana. She's like Nama. All of us have Nana. A lot of us have
Like
Nana.
that's just like name.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you're saying, name. Just like we say name, and then you just break it down like you was just saying. Nah, me. It's just so easy. It's like you saying. It's just like it's the same thing basically. It just seemed like it was sped up, and it almost was sped up so the foreigners can understand us.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that a boat of foreigners will come here and change the language of millions of people. I don't see it happening.
Absolutely not.
I don't see that happening. I just
No.
don't see it happening.
No, you're right. And that's why you can we'll talk about that when we get to the section on the looking at the so-called English words. When you look at those words, you see our reflection in those words, but they just put a spin on it, an angle, because English means type of angle. Angle, if you look at the etymology of that angle, English, whatever, angle, and ish means a type of, so basically it's a type of angle. So they just put an angle. But again, going back to your Namis, when you go back to your Namis and you start to speak your aunties and your uncles' names, think about those nicknames. You can, that's a good way, a good source to listen to just how our people name themselves. Like my mother is Anita, her mother was Thelma, and her sister was Florida. So even America, we don't have to go far. And a lot of people like to redefine what America's name is, and you really can find the mother tongue right there in America. Marijuana, okay, let me look at, marijuana. They spell it with a J, but how do you really say it?
Ends with a na.
Right? Ma-ri-wa-na. Ma is the mother, always the giver, bringing into life, right? Re is reeds, plants. Because plants, trees, animals are all reflectors of light. We're all Eve. We're some type of reflection of light. Like in Florida. That's how I was able to unlock what the reed meant. Because at first I didn't know what reed meant. I know E means reflection. I was like, well, what is reed? Reed is reeds, plants, stalks. Just like Florida, it means what? The land of flowers. So where is you getting that flower word from? The reed. Roots, reed. Plants that are rooted. Marijuana. So you're saying this plant from the mother that gives great rise, because
the mother plant.
The mother plant, marijuana. Wa means the great expanse. Na means to give rise, right? The risen. So you're saying it's a plant, it's a mother plant that gives great rise. Well, in reality, isn't that what it does? One time I just slowed it down and said, wait a minute, you say marijuana. But see, that's another trick, too, is they replace letters, some of our reflections with different letters, and it throws you off. It's the same thing you say hallelujah, but it's hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. It's spelled with a J. You're not saying hallelujah. Same thing, you don't say marijuana, you say marijuana. Slow it down, marijuana. Marijuana.
It might be something about that wah. They don't want you to know.
Yeah.
Might be some. They say it's power in words.
Yeah, because it is, because wah means the great expanse, right? Which, I mean, I don't know if any of you all have had, like, traumatic experiences where you've had.
Wait a minute, you said wah. Wah means what again? I'm trying to understand.
The great expanse. I mean, something great. Like when you say Wakanda. When they say Wakanda, they said they need the great spirit, right? Well, the wah is the great.
Ain't that something? Wah. I got you.
Yeah. So now, Wakanda, now everybody knows that's an American Indian word, but what tribe was that from?
I don't know. That was like upper. I don't know what. That's up. I don't know where they come from.
Which tribe or nation they said it was from, but Wakanda, Ka is the truth. Why is great.
It was up there by Dakota. I mean, not Decatur. Dakota or somewhere up there in northern, the northern of the country.
Okay, now in the mother reflection, Wakanda, Ka is the spirit, right? The spirit reflected of light, so the spirit of truth. Why is great. Da is one who is. Like that's when they say Buddha, you're one who is.
I had seen that it was saying that the Wakanda from different tribes up there, where I was talking about up there in the plains, they were saying Wakanda means a abnormal person, like someone with extra ability, or someone that was stronger than others, or taller than others, or it was almost in reference to what they would call a god.
Spirit, right? Something great. Well, Wakanda is one who is, or one a being. Ka means something. There's supposed to be truth of spirit, true spirit, and Wa is great. So when you put it all together, it can mean all those meanings. Depends on the context of how you're using it. That's what makes our language so cool. That's why I really like speaking it. It's just fun because it's like you can say so much in one inflection, and it can mean so many different things. Like it's just like I think we talked about this before. Like if you walk into a room and somebody say, "Hey, what's up?" and someone else says, "Hey, what's going on?" and someone else says, "What's up? Hey, what's up?" You just say the same words pretty much, but they all have something meaning different because it's the frequency in which you display it, right? The first one is more low key. You can read through that energy that something's up, that's not cool, or maybe the person's going through something. Then you have this normal basis. Someone say, "Hey, how you doing?" Casual, keep it open. You say, "Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey." That's excitement. You're saying something different. You're not expressing the same thing. So that's what's beautiful, I think, about the way we communicate as a people and how we reflect, our dialect and the twinges that we put on languages, because they can mean so many different things and how we conceptualize. That's why they tried, like you said, they tried to slow our stuff down and try to bring it down to where the farmer can understand it while we understand. Because they try to do it, all those rules they come up with, homonyms, synonyms, antonyms, homophones, what's the other one? Idioms, personification. There's so many different forms of rules dealing with the so-called English language, because they're trying to, again, materialize our language, which is consensual. When we say one word does not just mean that word. The the inflections itself it's living. It's saying more than just that. So I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but does everybody get that?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, they just created like all these rules that you're trying to imitate our language and materialize it. So if that's where it loses a lot of it's power. It's power. They say power, but it's power. Great showing of great strength coming through, right? Pa is like erected strength. Like ma, you have pa. U coming through. Wa is great. So you have great strength coming through. Power. But they say power. What does that mean? But when you say power, you're saying great strength coming through. That's when we have our powwows, right? The powwows. Wow. Wow. When you say, again, go back and make your mouth say wow, wow, wow. It's like that's something you're dealing with something great when you say wow. Wow. Slow it down a little bit to how wow. Wow. There's something great coming through. Wow. So we have powwow. Wow. Something great. Great strength coming through. So that's the tricks. I try to go a little bit into that in that section of breaking the spell of English on page 10, because basically, again, they try to materialize our language so that they could really put it understand. So we would stand under, but we enter, not under. So, and that's also a way of keeping us as mental slaves, being indoctrinated, forced into language arts. You got to think about it, language arts. Why is language an art? Spellings.
I never thought about that. I already know about the spelling and spells, but I never thought about the language arts. Like, what's the art of language when you're speaking words? So I didn't think of that one.
Grammarly, Grammarlize, Grammarly. You see, Lee, again, that's a reflection. Lee is a reflection of light. Bruce Lee. Ali, Muhammad Ali. Then we see how but Lee is light, like a bright, bringing the light. So, and that's basically what happens when we go to public school, And then sentence structure, sentence. They make us form sentences, but we can say in reflection, like I said, power, and we don't. That could be a sentence. But see, look at the word sentence. What does a sentence mean? That's a trickology with their stuff. A judgment, a verdict, a ruling, a punishment, a decree, a structure, is build or construct, right? So you have sentence structure. Grammarlize, language arts, spelling, sentence structure. This is how they teach us language. What is that? The language is really communication, right? It's expression. These are rules. These are tricks. These are rules.
Someone said, Burnish Brass said, arts have to be mastered. They are trying to master us.
Yeah, I can concur with that. But they're trying to master something that you can't really materialize. That's why we're still what? That's why we are awakening. We are waking up. We are alive. You can't pin it down, but so much. You can't keep it within a construct for so much, because we are living, we're fluid. That's why I say anything I write or publish, if it's dealing with anything with this or dealing with our indigenousness as far as creative spirit, I always say it's a living document. It is bound to change because it can. It can change. it can evolve, as we elevate on our ledge of no. They say knowledge, but it's a ledge of no. Upside down, inside out, backwards. We're all benders because we are creators. That's why we can bend our languages into our vernacular of frequency. So then we're speaking to each other. We do have a whole different frequency in how we communicate with each other. And then when we're communicating with the foreigners or someone else, we have a different frequency for that. So we're creative. We bend language all the time. So, and again, like I said, go into your names of people in your families and your aunties and uncles and your cousins and them, and listen to those names, listen to the nicknames, those names, and why were they named that? Why did that nickname, so-called nickname, stick? Because it's an attribute, it's a description. It's not just letters coming together to form the word Joe or Nancy, but when you say it, when we name our children, we name ourselves, we really think in the concept, it's how we see this child being expressed as an expression of life coming through. So when we name our children, our names, it's different. It's not just making up letters to make a word. And that's really what English is, right? It's just these rules, these arts of taking letters to make words. And they take the vowel system, which is corrupt, and they, again, to tie your words together to make sentence structure, syntax, all these rules to master. And that's a cool way. I never thought about it like that. To master something that you probably could never master once we break free from it. You can't master it. I don't think it's possible. But they tried. It didn't work. We're still alive. So
that was awesome. Go ahead. What you were saying?
Yeah, if you want to stop there and I can continue at another time, or I know.
Yeah, because they, a lot of times people want to go back and get that information, and you showed out tonight though. I got a whole bunch of notes over here.
Okay. Yeah, and just some tips when you're dealing with the English language, kind of look for the hidden angles and the mirrors. A lot of mirrors in the English language word, like understand, but now flip it back and say stand under. Like departmentalize. Break those words up. Departmental. So
like take the first word, like if it's like two words together, just put them in reverse or something like that. Like
you can pay attention to those English words that sound the same.
Well, when I lived in Japan for 6 years, okay, and I'm an Army brat, and they would say like a normal word that people know in the States would be tomo arigato. But over there, tomo arigato means very much thank you. But over here, you would say thank you very much. So basically, it's like they just did exactly what you just said, where they took the very thank you very much and put the very much thank you before the thank you. So they just reversed it, I guess.
Yeah. You see, there's a lot of hidden angles and mirrors in the English word. It's a lot of them. When you say in words that sound the same, you got to kind of reverse it. So when you say, that's why I don't usually use the word pray, because pray can mean pray, and pray can mean pray, P-R-A-Y or P-R-E-Y. Right? When you say days, it could be D-A-Y or D-A-Z-E. You're in
That's
a
why I'd be scared to use those words like pray and bless and all that, because I know that words have power. And when you look at the original meaning of those words, I wonder if they haven't lost their power. We try to change it for something else, and it's still pushing that stain curses that they originally meant. I don't know, but that's how it feels to me. Like when someone come up and say, have a blessed day, it's like you walking up telling me, look, you need to be less than what you need to be to have a great day. You get what I'm saying? Like you need someone to look out for you. You need to be less of a person today. I don't like that. Don't tell me have a blessed day.
Yeah, but it also depends on somebody's intention. But with their intention, when they did this, they were intended to trick us and trap us up in this language like this. So it also depends on somebody's intention, because it's hard, like I said, until we become fluent in a whole different language. I mean, our common ground right now is this broke up, bent up English, but we have the power to flip it back, to put an angle on it, and be wordsmiths. So, for example, if you take, and I guess I'll leave you guys with this one. Take the word morning and morning. So you had morning, and then you have mourning. So when you say to someone, good morning, what are you saying? What's your intention? So I don't even use that one at all. We say Ninawa or great rising. People say grand rising. Those are good. But morning, you're right. Because morning, people do be grieving when they got to get up early, be going to work and doing stuff. Good morning. So it's a good morning. But it's not good to grieve, because morning means grieving as well. Days and days, write and write, pray and pray. I mean, those are these little hidden angles and mirrors in the English words. So sometimes they pop out at me like contract is contract. It's a con. That's why the contract world is not higher than, that's why, like contractual contracts and contractual, the material world is not higher than natural law, universal law, for lack of a better word, godly law. So that's why as a people, we got to get up out of this contractual, because what is it? It's a con. It's a con. The whole thing is
run this con by you right quick.
Run this con by
sign this con.
Mm-hmm. It's all a contract. Anything you buy, a contract, man. It's all that straw man.
It's a track con.
Shadow man, because they took a hold of your shadow. And now you have this straw man type construct again. The con. It's a con. Contracts. Contract. It's a con. Sometimes, I can look at some English words and hear what they really mean. So, like contract, I heard contract. Because you're on this track. And it's a con to keep you on this track, right? And if you don't do this and do that, I mean,
that's what it is. It's a con to keep you on the track. Because if not, you're going to jump off that joker immediately once you figure it all out. But, that's awesome.
And we are doing it. I'm telling you, speak your words. Speak your names and your clans and your bands and your tribes. Keep speaking that stuff, because the more we speak in the energy, it is a frequency, it is reverberation, it is sending the shockwaves. The more we speak and return to our naturalness, it has a profound effect. These folks rather shut the world down.
So what I'm going to do, I need everyone to like, share, subscribe, get this out to everyone. So when she come back and we get back on some more words that she did on part 2, everyone will be caught up. If you need the book, the first book, Unlocking the Mother Tongue, Ma Within, just email me at nograndmakillers@gmail.com, and we will send that PDF to you right away with no problem. So we'll make sure everyone get it. You got anything you wanted to say, Tasha, before we give the last words and get out of here? Let me see if Tasha's still here. I see her volume button up.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good. I hear you good. Well, let me get Chief, because she can't hear you. Let me let Chief talk so she can catch on and hear what you say. Chief, you got any last words you want to say before you get out of here, so you can come click on the YouTube and hear what everybody else say before we get off?
I just say thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and I hope that it inspires our people just to keep moving, keep speaking life and speaking words of life into ourselves, and let's keep the vibration going. Let's keep sending out them shockwaves, because we are creating a new reality while they're trying to hold us to the old one in that contract world. Now we out of here. So
we out of here.
We out of here.
Go ahead.
We out.
It seems like you just know what to say. Like, oh my God, you said it. We gotta let go of the old world. We gotta let go of that contract, and it's time to move forward. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we gotta go. Gotta go. Let them have it. Y'all can keep it. We good. We out of here.
So, Chief, when you hang up, click on YouTube real quick before we get off so you can hear what anybody else had to say, because you wasn't able to hear what Tasha was saying.
Oh, okay. She said something?
Can you jump on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, I can get on there. Are you going to send me to it, or?
Yeah, you don't know Grandma Killers? You already on the Grandma Killers?
Okay.
Okay, all right then. I'll see you then, and thank you a lot. I'm very, very thankful for you coming out and helping us out, and all the time you always come through. So anytime you need it, just hit me up, and we on the way to come see you, and anything you need help with, we there, and I sure appreciate you.
And vice versa, I appreciate you all too. Y'all be safe out there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, thank you, Chief.
Anita, I said.
All right, Anita.
Thank you, Chief. Nah.
All right, no, not Phoenix, Tasha. I've been working with y'all.
Can you hear me?
I hear you real good.
Okay, I got the mic. No, but I was saying, like, I was in the chat, and I was like, the words that she was saying is like aligning right with the Powhatan language. And even when she said powwow, powwow, like a pow is like a great leader, like in the priesthood. The pow, like the powwow, right? So it has a power. The title has a power behind it, like she was saying. And like she says, we say power, and the European people say power. So it's a reason why we say things a certain way. And like she was saying, mama, like in Powhatan, wama is love. So you love your mother, certain words that naturally come out of children. There's real words that actually exist that, have the same, what is it called? Phonics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she said anasakan, and anasakan is a Powhatan word, and it means a rug or a mat. Right? She was saying it in the context of welcoming someone, and it's like we have a welcome mat. So anasakan is a mat. So a lot of the words that I was like, what? Like a lot of them are actually Powhatan words. So that's what I thought was really interesting.
And that's what I was telling you. Like a lot of tribes will say, "Wait a minute, we say that, and we say that, and we say that," and it just made sense to me that when she say unlocking the mother tongue, because that's how they was able to communicate with each other, because they was using almost the same words but different dialects. They probably spelled them different, but they might have meant the same thing. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, something that's a universal mother tongue. That's basically what she's saying.
Right. Because we all on the same land.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That was awesome.
Yeah, she did a great job. I really appreciated that. She did really good. She's so humble too. When people they wanted to donate and all this stuff, and she was like, no. But I mean, she needs stuff. Like if she's going out to do cases and stuff, she's gonna need some gas to get there, at least something. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna get with I'm gonna get some more people that works with her every day and see if they can get me some type of donation link or something, and
Yeah,
we'll do something and look out for her.
right. Or yeah, or no grandma killers can put something for her.
Hmm. But yeah, that was awesome. I mean, it kind of make you look at words a lot different if you get what I'm saying.
Right,
Like when she hit me with
right.
the non-mean, it just made so sense. It just made sense to me. So I was like, this is tough. We got to get this. But yeah. So you got anything you wanted to go over, Tasha, before we get out of here?
No, I was just trying to point out the words that she was saying that were real Powhatan words.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the stuff was, and even like we have Nama means the sea in Powhatan, or Namish means fish. So a lot of those words are like real words.
Well, she ain't did no studying. I guess she says straight from the ancestors, and she's been a teacher for a very very long time as well.
Right.
So she, I mean, that's her gift, and a lot of people have gifts and don't use them. I guess she using them.
Mm-hmm. So this book that she read from is the first book. Is there another book that she wants to
She
talk
had an
about?
updated version. This is the book. I know she had an updated version. Like she says that it keeps growing. I guess the more she get in tune in what she's doing, with the words and different things like that, she will update them. So when I wanted everybody to get the first. I didn't want to go too far into it until they got the beginning. So that's the reason I wanted to get this one out and go over this one because we did this live. Me and her did this probably about a year and a half ago.
Oh,
So I wanted everybody to get it again before she come out, so you kind of get a basics of what she's saying and how she's getting the words. So when we go to another, like when she does the updated version, it kind of be caught up.
right. Okay. That sounds good.
So that's basically it. I think I probably ought to
Did
go back
anyone
and
have any
listen to this.
questions?
Yeah, any questions before we get out of here? I know we got a delay, so I'm gonna get them a few seconds, few minutes, see if anyone had any
Okay.
more
I believe
questions.
so.
Let's see.
And
Yeah,
then you
she
said,
been they say hopefully she come back soon. She's been coming like once a week, once or twice a week. She's been on
right,
consistent.
right. Furnish Brad said, "Do I have a remedy for haters?" Oh my gosh. I don't know from what we seeing. We just once you start ignoring them, that's when they shut up. Looks like it. You just gotta ignore
Well,
some people.
let them do them because there's too much
Yeah.
going on. But it said bad. My Indian hit the like button. Yeah, please hit the like button. Please subscribe, share. Um, Make sure everyone get
Yes.
this because we got a lot more coming. Lot more coming. Like I told you all, if you are my friend on Facebook, we've been keeping the BS from Grandma's house. We've been keeping Grandma's house clean. We don't let that drama get to Grandmama's house. So it's been some good bills over here, and I've been really enjoying it. Over here at Grandma's house, I can sit on the porch and pick some
Yeah.
pieces and get this
Right. And the
information.
show with Phoenix and Johnny the other day was really good too. So you guys
Oh
gotta go
yeah.
check that one out.
Mhm.
Especially people with Louisiana ancestry. I think they talk about Arkansas too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I got a lot of
Yeah, so I'll
Arkansas
check that out.
ancestry. Hmm.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't see any more questions. So Tasha, when we gonna see you again? When we gonna get some? When we gonna see you again?
I'm trying to get something together this week. So I'm probably gonna have to record something.
Okay,
You want to get
but
on this thing? for the bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my son, he wants to do something, so we're gonna do something.
Welcome.
Awesome.
You guys like me. You guys like me on here, so here you got another episode with me on here.
Sweet. Thank you.
Boom.
He
Thank
said
you.
he's gonna get him an episode on here. That's what's up.
Right.
That's awesome.
Soon I will make a new channel, so check that out.
You're gonna have your own
Soon.
channel now? Okay.
Let me see.
Hey, Sheba. Oh, I was silent. I was trying to give Chief Blue Feather some time to speak. I didn't want to take away from her. She was saying a lot of good stuff.
So back to you guys' question.
Yeah, she was getting it in to where, like, when she
Right.
say something, you really gotta go back and kind of go over it so you'll have a better understanding of what you just heard. And she was just trying to cram it all down in a short period of time. So, but yeah, it's a lot of information she gave out tonight on how we speak, and she will be back. She always come back with a motivational for the week, and I'm just thankful she came by and came and shared that information with us.
He said, "Am I related to Jackson family?"
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Not that I know of. No, but a lot of different. I know they're Choctaw, so it's a lot of different Choctaw people say I look like in their family. So I don't know what that's about.
Because you have some of the same DNA from your family, so that's why.
Yeah, probably. That's what I'm saying.
Your DNA mixed up with your family, and you look kind of relatable to your family.
Oh,
You got him
okay.
on it early, don't you? You got him on it early. He already talking about DNA, ain't he?
Right.
Sorry, we have to just bring up DNA. Hey, my favorite science is body parts in your mucus system.
Oh, immune system, right.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they say you're cute and smart.
Thank you, everyone. You're cute and smart also.
Oh, so funny. Okay, well, I think we're all done for tonight, right?
You wanna anything you wanna say before I close out?
No, just everyone needs to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share this video out, like it. Leave us some comments and give us some feedback on what they want to see on the channel too.
So remember, there's always going to be another episode.
Yes, it's going to be another episode.
And comment down below what questions you want us to answer in the next video.
Thank you, baby. All right.
So, all right, everyone. Thank everyone for coming out. We'll see you all. Sleep tight. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Y'all know I'll be back tomorrow with something. So I'll see you all tomorrow. And thanks a lot. And like she says, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out of here. Peace, y'all.